just you know, we have these slides showing this what looks like very simple geometry.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of testing and there's a lot of sort of prototyping before you get to a polished space.
Oh yeah, this is. So I'm glad we pulled this up. This is actually Chris Carney's original design for Lockout. And if you look closely, this is actually really cool because it's, you know, we're trying to design a really small map. You know, two players playing on one-on-one. It's really not fun if one guy just goes and camps and hides. So this map was always meant to have these lines of sight and this connectivity, a lot of chasing each other and jumping. And I pulled up some of the old design docs and was looking at those, and you can see explicitly calling out these angles, so you can just see somebody pass, you know, through, you know, this line of sight and all that. So this is the original map, and what's actually interesting about this right here is this is actually what we built, the first playable that we built right here, and it didn't actually work very well. There's a lot of places where, like over in the lift in that room, and actually over here on the left side also, where you kind of get stuck and you kind of get trapped in there, and you really, it's such a, you know, there's so much visibility on the map, you really can't move around. So when we first made this map and we first played it, we were kind of scratching our heads because it wasn't actually working that well and it wasn't playing that well. So I remember I actually got my hands on this. This was an old Photoshop file with a bunch of layers in there, and started mucking around with it and trying to figure out what we do. So if we advance the slide one, watch the left-hand side of the screen. These are some of the things I was proposing. So hey, what if this ramp goes around the building? And hey, what if you could go up on top of what became the battle rifle tower? Although I think we were still planning ladders then, so I'm glad we got rid of those. But yeah, this is the type of, you know, we made these changes. What we were calling the elbow earlier, that entire walkway didn't exist. So once you're in there, you're really trapped. And we actually added that in there. That was another proposal. And those few changes just completely changed the map. And I think, you know, I think for the rest of development, which this was done really early, we did this in the first probably 6 months of Halo 2 development. For the rest of development on Halo 2, this was the favorite small-scale map. And we really didn't make a whole lot of changes at that point, except for really subtle fine-tuning. So, oh yeah.
Shotgun corridor. This is actually inspired from a corridor in Marathon, right?
Yeah, Frank and I were chatting about this earlier, and I was telling him this was back in the days, actually. Charlie and I grew up playing Marathon together. One of my all-time favorite Marathon maps. Yeah, I got some Marathon fans. A lot of Halo multiplayer, and certainly my inspiration and knowledge about FPS multiplayer came from Marathon. One of my favorite maps is a map called Mars Needs Women, which has this long corridor, this little dark spot at the end that you can kind of hide in and get the jump on somebody. So, yeah, I really wanted to get that in here. I wanted to have one of those dark corridors that you could go down there and just hang out and, you know, surprise people. So that was actually, yeah, the inspiration for the...